Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having a great day. As always, likes, comments, and subscriptions are appreciated as they do help out with the channel's algorithm. At the moment, Ledger is currently having a sale on their Nano S and Nano X backup pack, as well as their Family Pack S Plus, which I believe is the most popular thing that they have on the website to be able to buy 3 Nano Ledgers at the exact same time. While I do not work for Ledger, I am an affiliate, and I do have an affiliate link in the description below for those of you who are interested in the sale. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, I'm back. Normal videos once again. But how funny. A lot has taken place over the course of 7 days that I was away. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says, and use this very lightly, it says technical analysis. Ethereum dives below $1,500. Why recovery could be capped. I'm not sure if a lot of you have been paying explicit attention to what's been happening in the news over the course of the last week, but all of this makes sense as to why the market is in red. It says Bitcoin and Ethereum resume their downtrend. Altcoins turn red. TA, Bitcoin price dives below $20,000. Why Bitcoin is vulnerable to more losses. No matter if I'm here, no matter if I'm gone, this space will never cease to amaze and surprise me. The amount of articles that were floating around since around, I'd even give it Thursday. I think Thursday was when the market began to kind of drift sideways, drift downwards a little bit, were quite spectacular. The amount of articles that were stating bears incoming, bad things happening to the market, Ethereum looks like it's weakening, can Bitcoin survive? Are we going back down to a $12,000 Bitcoin? Can Bitcoin perform better? Is Bitcoin performing? And it had nothing, nothing, to do with actual real world events, which I always think is just quite special. How for some reason, I'm not sure if it's the people who are writing the articles or what's happening, who make sure to like insulate themselves in such a gigantic way from actual reality. And the idea simply being that Bitcoin and Ethereum on their own merits seems to be dropping. Ethereum is not strong enough, and therefore the speculation of the merge is dissipating, and therefore this is why we're dropping in price, as opposed to being like, oh, real stuff is actually happening in the world. What I found most fascinating was, because it actually reflected my life and the life of other people around me. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Ethereum, yet another ETH2 deposit contract high, featuring holders anti-selling narrative. I don't know anybody with money who's actually selling crypto right now. I know a good chunk of people who are like, I have my close friends who I discuss crypto with quite often. Hello out there if you are listening. And I know a bunch of other people who are in the market around the world. We talk from time to time. We talk about prices. We talk about where things are going to be going, what we should be getting into. No one I know is selling. Not one single person I know who is into Ethereum, who is looking forward to the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade merge extravaganza, has been selling. Nearly everyone I know is simply accumulating, whether it be, and this is, here we go, this is not financial advice. Everyone got that? Cool. Whether it be simply because prices appear to me and my circle as being just laughably low right now, or the fact that Ethereum's upgrade is not going to be a sell the news event. A lot of people who keep proclaiming this, and I notice on Twitter, it's people, they've had their Twitter account for like 9 months, don't understand exactly what this is or what's going to be happening or why this is such an actual big deal. If you want to find out why it's a big deal, watch the last 75 videos of the channel, because it's way too much to actually go into. One of the main reasons has to do with the actual staking and staking of the coins, not explicitly for securing the internet. It has more to do with the idea of passive income. And I know this to be true, that only people with money are really paying attention to this, because we've gotten this news a couple of times. We had news before. It says it on the screen as well for those of you not looking. We had news earlier this year, and also from a number of developers and also Coinbase, that the current Ethereum staking rewards are roughly around 5 to 7%. The rewards won't come out of the machine, if you will, until the actual upgrade has happened. But until then, people are still actively, passively making that money that's within the system inside of these staking contracts until we actually get Ethereum 2.0. Cool. A number of developers, and once again on the screen, Coinbase, they said, even the news that we got before from the developers was that during the upgrade, it's expected that the coin will officially become deflationary. That is the coin burn happening actively in the background, as well as what's the other thing that's always taking place? It's the coin burn. The actual issuance rate is also going to drop by something like 70, 80, or 90%. Like, no, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 1/10 of what it currently is right now. So that's a 90% drop in the actual coins that are going to be created. And at the same exact time, it's expected that the 5 to 7% is going to double to 10 to 12% for people who are staking. And who are the people who are going to be able to make new Ethereum in the future? The only people, it's people who already have Ether. So I don't know anyone who's selling. I'm sure, of course, there are people out there who are selling. I think people are in for a very rude awakening within the cryptocurrency space within the next couple of years. But I think this is just how cycles are. There's no way to really get around it. You're going to have people who are new to the market. You're going to have people who don't understand how the market works. It's understandable. I'm not expecting everyone to always understand that prices at the end of a 4-year cycle are going to drop by anywhere from 85 to 97% for certain altcoins, and then will eventually move back up to a 4, 5, 6x of their previous all-time high, and then slide back down once the 4-year cycle is kind of over again. You have to be in the market for a while to really understand that. We are current, and there's just so much news. You don't even know what's coming. A lot of told you so's as well, because people are so hyper predictable. It's almost just insanity at this point. At the moment, the cryptocurrency market is down. People with money and expectations of a future $5,000 to $10,000 per month in passive income are actively collecting Ethereum because of the news that we've received before in the past. And I knew you saw this one coming. Not only is the crypto market down, but guess what else is? Yeah, the stock market as well is also down in price, as one could have actively assumed. It says Dow futures sink around 200 points as Friday's rout on Wall Street looks set to continue. Yes. So what? That's crazy. The cryptocurrency market is not going down because of bears and whales and hypochondriacs. It's going down because of what happened on Friday. At the moment, other stock markets that are opening or have already opened, their futures are also in the red. Prices are also crashing as well, because that's usually what's to be expected. It says stocks plummeted Friday after Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said in his Jackson Hole speech, the central bank won't back off its fight against rapid inflation. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped by 3%, which is a gigantic drop. I mean, for a stock market, there's usually a relative air of stability for stock markets, and they tend to go down by like 0.5% in one day or over the course of 2 days. This is a 3% drop on this news. The S&P 500 fell by 3.37%, and the NASDAQ fell by almost 4% as well. You can see this massive drop right here. So if anyone was wondering why prices in our market fell, it's because every other market began to fall as well. I think collectively, just within the United States stock market, I think $1 trillion of value was lost instantaneously over the course of a couple of hours, if you will. So this made major news, and it scared every other market is currently down. There's nothing. There may be one or two things that have bucked the trend. There's always a way to push up prices for something, but everything is down, and this is why crypto fell. Bitcoin did not fall because less people are using it. Ethereum did not fall because people aren't concerned with the merge or Ethereum 2.0 anymore. No, the world economically is in turmoil, and everyone cashed out at the exact same time. The major averages declined for a second week. The Dow tumbled 4.2, the Nasdaq and S&P roughly lost around 4 to 4%. Wow, interesting sentence. And it was somewhere around here. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, the point is basically he announced that looking through their paperwork, they see that inflation is still a very big problem. And as such, they are not going to back off their raising of interest rates. The raising of interest rates is meant to deter people in some sort of way from getting into the markets or taking out debt or buying new credit cards, and therefore cooling off the market. But they've noticed that their efforts aren't exactly working. And I told you all that before. Inflation is not 9% in America. It's probably around 20 or 30%, somewhere around there. Not sure if you follow me on Twitter. I posted a video on Twitter I forgot what the name of the video was called. You can find it. It's the only one that kind of stands out. It's the only one without an actual crypto thumbnail. And it's basically about rent in New York and how high things are and how high they keep going. And a lot of people have had their rent raised by 30 or 50%. And some of them have even had it double in 1 year. I'm sorry, that is not 9%. The same exact thing with the relative cost of living also going up. So this all basically has to do with the Federal Reserve acting on 2008, 2009 and messing up and not trying to correct anything that they did before, or simply having not done it, which they can't, they don't have a time machine to be able to do that. And now we're all actively dealing with the general repercussions of them printing so much money that we don't even have a relatively normal stock market or crypto market or housing market, which is also, for those of you who don't know, also collapsing right now. There are also estimates that, China, maybe roughly, no one knows, has about 20 days left, but before their entire economy also collapses. That hinges on the back of if their government is going to plan on printing hundreds of billions of dollars to be able to try and bail out the other multiple companies who collapsed before because of their real estate doings. And yeah, so as it stands right now, we are currently in the situation where everything is going down. It's not just one market. If you have any friends, and I'm sure one of you does, any friends who contacted you and they were like, why is Bitcoin dropping, dude? I hope your money's okay. That light backhanded thing that people pretend that they're carrying, but they actually are reveling in the fact that you lost money in a market that they refuse to get in because they don't understand how cryptocurrencies actually works. Let them know that everything is falling at the exact same time, and it's not just my wallet. I'm pretty sure, Jimmy, if you're in any other market, you're also losing money as well. That's all the price news that we have for right now. Everything is down. Don't feel bad explicitly. At some point, all the markets will move back up. The Fed is already being told behind the scenes that they can't keep raising interest rates because markets will completely collapse, fall down to zero. That will never happen. That's not going to actually be a thing. It's just more of the people who... Anyway, that's the money news. And yeah, let's move on. I actually sucked my teeth when I saw this news. And in certain countries, I know it's not even called sucking your teeth. I think it's called kissing your lips or kissing your gums. It has a really weird, I don't know how other people. Anyway, the point is, for those of you who follow the channel, hello. I once again do appreciate all the constant support. I keep seeing the same names over and over. Hello. I really appreciate the nice people out there. You might remember, my friends, around June or July, I announced that, backing it up, we had news that Cardano was getting ready to have their Vasil upgrade. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Can't believe it. And I was like, I have a really strange feeling they're going to try and delay it. And people were like, no, bro, you're crazy. They're not going to delay it. They've been talking about this upgrade for a while. And I was like, we keep getting indications. And then when we got an actual indication that the Ethereum upgrade was going to be happening sometime in September, do you remember what I said? Anybody? Right. I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to wait to September. Why are they going to wait to September? Because they want the potential price momentum from Ethereum dragging the rest of the market upward, and therefore they can announce their thing as well. So we got news at the end of June, July. I don't remember what time frame it was anymore. Hey, oh my gosh, no, we found a problem in the code and we can't upgrade anymore. We got to wait a little bit longer. The news that we got was a couple of weeks. I told you it wasn't going to be like 2 or 3 weeks. It was going to be September. And then we got news sometime at the earlier point of this month, August, that there was one developer somewhere who was like, oh, Cardano is fundamentally broken. I can't believe it. Cardano's the worst thing ever. And I was like, well, that's kind of dramatic. And then the next day he was like, Cardano's amazing because we fixed the problem and now we're all set to go. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird that you caused drama within the cryptocurrency space, not even organically, to make it seem as if something terrible was happening with Cardano, which it wasn't. And then they ended up fixing it like 4 hours later. That's really funny. And then I was like, oh, this is all being done so that they can build up the narrative so that when they actually do the upgrade, it's going to be in September. Well, boys and girls, guess what? Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson has revealed new details about the highly kind of anticipated Vasil hard fork upgrade. The IOHK co-founder has unveiled that the upcoming hard fork may be released as early as September 2022. I mean, I'm shocked. I would have never suspected September. This is not the first time that this has happened with Cardano. If you've been a watcher of this channel since around 2018, this is the third time for the third major upgrade. The first one, I don't remember what it was called. Every Cardano upgrade has like a weird name. Masil, Jasil, Gillette. They all have, you know. And that one was supposed to have happened, I think, in January. And then they kept on pushing it back because the cryptocurrency market wasn't moving. The Cardano team, for some reason, keeps trying to time their upgrade releases around the time whenever the market is going back up. I think the market was going back up a little tiny bit sometime in the summer. Hey, guys, we have the upgrade. I'm like, wow, that timing is kind of peculiar. Didn't really mean that much to me. The second one was the major staking before you were able to actually stake on the network. They also announced that when the market was also moving back up after months of them being like, oh no, we have to wait. I have a feeling that Vasil has been done for a while. This is just me. This is not me also patting them on the back. Yeah, they're such a good team. This was done for a while. No, I think they, like many other companies, try to wait for the most opportune time to announce something, but this is only setting them up. And if I'm realizing this as a YouTuber who's reading news, I'm certain the SEC has their, you know, like those really like Bugs Bunny binoculars, like the one that kind of really extend really far. I'm sure they're looking as well, because this only kind of really sets you up as looking like a company that is actively dealing with a security. Do I agree with the idea of a security? No, I think it's stupid. It's literally from the 1920s. Why should we care anymore? However, knowing how much regulators really love this kind of stuff, stop it. If you had the upgrade before, just announce the upgrade, launch the upgrade, and then the coin has to go up on its own merit. So we know that Cardano is being used by tons of companies. Like, it's not like Cardano's this brand new coin on the block. We have news constantly all the time from like the actual major chain analytics companies, Chainalysis and Sentiment and all these other things. Like, we know that Cardano is actively being used. We know that there are thousands of projects on top of it. We know that there are tens of thousands of people behind the scenes who are working on it and or actively trying to create dApps or maps or slaps on top of it as well. Like, we know it's a thing. We don't need explicit timing for Cardano's upgrades to happen over the course of a period of hype because they want the price to move up accordingly. Like, no, launch it before, let people get used to the actual thing. Let us hear that there's now 15,000 people using it who are staking, moving away the Cardano, actively taking it to other places, and therefore let that actually move up the price as opposed to waiting for these hype cycles all the time. So yeah, that's the Cardano news. I saw and I was like, I knew it. It's so annoying. And there's so many photos and it's driving me absolutely insane. If you're not looking at the screen or don't have a screen to look at, of Charles Hoskinson doing these like, like really like interesting thought out poses, like this one right here. Like this is what you would see like on like a movie poster or like a trailer for some new movie that's coming out about a psychologist who's like trying to get his life together. Like they try and make it seem so deep, and it's like, no, they had this thing done already. They've had this thing done for a very long time. If they didn't, I apologize explicitly. You know, hear me out. If the timing just happened to be the same exact time when the Ethereum hard fork is going to happen and everyone's expecting prices to rise, forgiveth me. I do apologize. However, this is the third time this has happened. When we have the Vasil upgrade, this is how Cardano always works. When we have this upgrade about 6 weeks after, it's always 6 weeks for some reason, I don't know why, there's going to be news about the next Cardano upgrade. It's always this way. We're going to get news that is going to be happening sometime soon. Sometime soon always ends up meaning like a year and some change. They keep announcing they have to do more, they have to do so and so. Watch out for the patterns of when this thing is going to launch. When they say it's going to launch, June, don't forget June, like we had June before. And then them announcing once again, oh no, we cannot do so because something is wrong with the code. We're looking into it, we're going to get it fixed. And then when we are expecting another movement up in the cryptocurrency market, that's when they're going to actually launch their upgrade. You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on Cardano, because I'm pretty sure this was already done before. So that's the Cardano news. And for those of you not looking, it says ADA is ready to roar back to $1 as Cardano founder reveals launch date for Vasil upgrade. I don't know if it's going to be moving. It's literally contingent on the rest of the world's market right now. And don't forget, the market moved down just on the Jerome Powell being like, we may at some point continue to raise interest rates. Don't forget about the other issues happening in Eastern Europe and also in China and all the other countries who are currently going through like a 40% inflation. Also, not to throw this out there, but have you noticed a lot of places it's not raining? You probably have seen that news as well. It's, you know, things ain't looking too good, as the kids say. That's the Cardano ready to roar back to $1 news. Sure, why not? News. I told you, it's always so obvious. I don't know what they think they're doing. Like if there's some kind of like, do they think they're masterminding the entire thing? Like this was so obvious that they were aiming for, they were waiting for an actual launch date of Ethereum. Anyway. All right. Let's move on. Also in incredibly popular news, which I'm going to call, hey, everyone, look over here. I'm a convicted criminal, but still listen to everything that I have to say. For those of you who don't know, and I'm not going to even give it the actual breadth of day to go through all of this. Jordan Belfort is the person who inspired the movie Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street made it seem very glamorized with Leonardo DiCaprio and what's her name? Other woman. And this idea of taking money and getting super wealthy, living your best life, and then being like, oops-a-daisy, sorry, didn't mean to do that. A couple of years ago, and then subsequently, as far as we know, we can only go off of newspapers and what was in the movie. He got in trouble for what he allegedly did. Sure, amazing. Spent some time in the clanker, I think that's what they call it. And he came out and was like, I'm a changed person. Sure. I'm sure after all the criminality, you are definitely. Anyway, so he's been in the cryptocurrency space for a while, regardless of what he tells us, regardless of what he says. We all know that he's been in crypto. The same exact thing where we heard, and the time frame is just, I mean, like absolutely perfect. Because back in 2017, Jordan Belfort announced how terrible Bitcoin was. How awful Bitcoin was. Bitcoin's the worst thing on the entire planet. He said it was a scam. It was only for scum. And if you're using Bitcoin, you are part of the Ponzi pyramid, whatever other word that people can throw out there that scares other people from getting into something. Can you guess what happened? Anybody? I know some of you are looking at the screen, so you definitely got the news. It says Jordan Belfort admits he was wrong about his Bitcoin forecast. What? No way. That's crazy. I cannot believe that personally, because why would he lie? It's not like he has ever allegedly done that before. So basically, Jordan Belfort and many other billionaires and millionaires and something else in theirs announced years ago that Bitcoin was going to zero. Bitcoin's awful. Bitcoin's terrible. Why is anyone using Bitcoin? Get out of the market right now. The price is going too high. You're making too much money. Get out of there. Cool. Now he's saying he was wrong. And why was he wrong? Because he didn't read the fundamentals. He didn't see how great Bitcoin actually was. And now, allegedly, apparently, he might have some skin in the game. Wow, what great timing. How interesting that is. This was one of the most popular news stories of the day, and I thought I'd bring it to you as another like, hey, look at this rich person who says that he now loves Bitcoin but told all of you to get out of the market in 2017 and they was actively accumulating cryptocurrencies back then. News. It's always the same. I mean, it's not even a pattern at this point. It's so choose a rich person. Like, like imagine you're playing Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat and like, the character's moving slowly back. And I'm actually moving my body slowly back and forth. You know how they always like, as you're like hovering over the character, like they're always like lightly moving. Choose your billionaire. They all have said the exact same thing. Bitcoin is the worst thing ever. I can't believe anybody but Bitcoin. But it was always the same. And then at some point when like Street Fighter 5 came out, they were all like wearing like Bitcoin shirts and they had like shoes that had like the letter B on it. And they're like, yeah, I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin is great because you've all been in the market for a very long time and you were telling everybody else to get out of the market. But now you have to actively publicly say that you're into Bitcoin to get people on your side. I don't know what it is, and I will never, I hope I never get it. I never want to understand why anyone would not only listen to these people, but also hear me out here. If this person actually did do the things that we saw in Wolf of Wall Street, hear me out here. Why would I want to listen to anything that they had to say if they are allegedly known for having done such terrible things to other people for the sake of their own pockets? This wasn't like a Robin Hood thing. This wasn't like, oh, let me take from the rich and give to the poor. This was let me take to the rich so that I get richer by defrauding other people. If you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, it's a pretty good movie. DiCaprio's very entertaining when he wants to be. It's not bad. Go watch it if you have nothing else to do today. But this was popular news because a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space, I don't know what it is. I think they love this like anti-hero kind of thing. Like, well, he did something wrong in the past. He's a changed man. Yeah, I'm certain. Sure, why not? So that's the Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort has announced I was wrong about Bitcoin going to zero, and now allegedly he sees how great Bitcoin is and what it can do for society and how much richer it's probably going to make him. He's still adamant, though, that other altcoins aren't it and need to be stayed away from. But I give it like 2 years as well. There's also like another curve there as well for billionaires, where billionaires do this thing. I don't even know if he's rich people. I'm going to say rich people in general, where they do the Bitcoin altcoin dance. And it's always I hate Bitcoin. Oh, now I love Bitcoin. And then it's always, well, altcoins are now altcoins are terrible and altcoins are bad. You realize that we keep getting tons of rich people. There we go. Who are announcing how much they like Cardano or throwing their support behind Ethereum, or they're like, oh, Tezos and Algorand are now the coins to watch. And it's like, oh yeah, because it's always the same. So that's the rich person saying I was wrong. 2014, 2017 was the majority, as far as we know, of the rich people accumulation timeline, where they told everyone else that Bitcoin, they're also responsible for me not getting into crypto very early, because I listened to these people, because they are constantly the voice that is given to the market by other news platforms. Oh my gosh, look at that rich person over there. Look at what they're saying about the market. They have money. You better listen to them. And they tell you to stay away from the market, and then you listen. And then you see that other people made money while you didn't. So you get into the market and go, wait, they were lying the entire time. And that's how the cycle goes. That's the rich person. Don't get into crypto. Now get into it because I'm into it news. Terrible, right? Over and over and over and over and over again. And yeah. Let's move on. Also in the news, and I decoded this extremely quickly, the publicly listed firm Coinbase Global has revealed that the company plans to evaluate any potential forks that arise from the upcoming Ethereum upgrade known as the Merge. In a recently updated blog post, Coinbase said if a new Ethereum proof of work token is created, it will be reviewed with the same rigor as any other asset that is listed on the company's exchange. So, oh wow, 16 days away. Yay! So for those of you who didn't hear me, I don't know, pay attention. We had news about oh gosh, there's a whole lot to unpack here. Get ready, buy some popcorn. I don't know, sit down and relax. It's going to be a long one. We had news a couple of weeks ago when we got the official date for the Ethereum 2.0 merge news, which is going to be moving from proof of work to proof of stake. There we go. That allegedly, apparently, some of the people who are mining Ethereum aren't too happy. I have known about the merge and the upgrade to proof of stake for at least 6 years now. It's been spoken about. It's fairly common knowledge. But allegedly, a lot of the people, the heavyweight people mining, who have thousands of machines, were like, gasp, but they clutched their digital pearls and they couldn't believe that it was happening, and they announced their disapproval for it, simply stating, hey, how will we be able to make money? A lot of the speculation was that they would simply shift their mining equipment over to Ethereum Classic and start mining Ethereum Classic instead. That was when we saw Ethereum Classic pumping, remember, like 15, 20% per day. And I was like, no one knows if they're actually going to do it. It's all speculation. Cool. The other part is that allegedly, and I have to keep saying that because, you know, it's just how the world works now. Everyone gets really upset if you don't say allegedly. There was allegedly someone who is a very large, well-known Ethereum mining provider energy person. Cool. Got it. And he announced that he was going to be forking the fork of Ethereum to create something called Ethereum POW. That is Ethereum proof of work. We went over it. The idea was this could have been a potential extra catalyst for the actual movement up in Ethereum's price. We would see a rise up in price normally for the general upgrade. The other thing would happen if people see that there's going to be an airdrop of new tokens for a token that they already have. It happens all the time. Cool. Part of the issue is, at least from my corner of the view, is that the people apparently working behind the scenes to make this happen ended up actually being just that one person in China who has tons of mining equipment, and Justin Sun. You can find it. Justin Sun announced that the day after that upgrade for ETH, or the hard fork of ETH POW, was announced, that he would be committing 1 million Ethereum to the project. And I was like, that seems kind of weird. And then people started finding connections on Twitter between both of them and found out that allegedly they both come from the same country and at some point maybe might have known each other, hung out, maybe are close friends. Cool, got it. The ETH POW coin is a scam. I don't know how to say that any cleaner or clearer to any of you. This is done as a cash grab or an extra way for people to simply make extra money. This has happened many other times with many other coins. You might have remembered the video where we were just talking about the 19 other Bitcoin hard forks, and subsequently, I think people also tried to hard fork Litecoin and many other coins as well, as an attempt to say, no, wait, that is the original chain. The current narrative is, no, Ethereum should not move to proof of stake because proof of work is so much better. It's better for the community. It's more secure. Therefore, everyone should be paying attention to the new chain, and that becomes the new Ethereum, as opposed to the actual chain that's simply called Ethereum, which is Ethereum. So, 2 crypto exchanges, have come out in support of ETH POW. Can you guess? Can you guess why? Well, one of them is actually owned by Justin Sun. Surprise. So, of course, he has announced support for it. And the other one is also allegedly, I think, based in Hong Kong or something like that as well. So you kind of get the point. However, Coinbase is currently in a really weird crossroads. Like, the light says green, go. but they cannot go, and people are asking why. So this was quite popular news. Now tell your friends about this who don't really understand, or simply send them the video. I'm not sure which is more convenient for you, so that they can really understand what this actually means. It's not that Coinbase is considering actually adding this coin. We've had news before it's been 10 years. The actual founder of Coinbase allegedly is really into Ethereum. So wouldn't it seem a little bit weird that at some point he would go, oh, maybe we should add ETH POW? Nope, it's actually not his decision. It's the public. You want to know why? It's because people are crazy and greedy, and that's just how the world works. For those of you who are not looking at the screen, this is a news story from 2017. It says, tons of Coinbase's users fled the platform after it rejected Bitcoin Cash. Now the $1 billion startup is in the center of a raging storm. It's not really a raging storm. It was well-timed propaganda within the cryptocurrency space. There are a lot of bad actors in any market. Let's be clear about that. However, the cryptocurrency space is probably one of the dirtiest ones, simply because of how easy it is to spread misinformation and actual nonsense in a timely manner on Reddit and on Twitter. And you can make a cryptocurrency video with people telling you to buy some crappy coin and it actually ends up working out. Remember BitConnect? The point is, Coinbase and a lot of other people who actually understood what Bitcoin meant understood that a hard fork or a chain split of the coin was nothing more than an actual cash grab. You might remember from 2017 us talking about Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond, and I think there was another color that was kind of trying to gain popularity, but it ended up not doing so. The idea was people figured out that you could hard fork a coin and make a new coin. The problem is that the propagandists, multiple S's, behind the scenes began to announce, my coin is the real Bitcoin. They got like a fancy figurehead in the front, and this is how we got Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's Vision, and Bitcoin Diamond, all claiming that their coin was the actual real coin. How did they do that? At some point, they all alleged that they were Satoshi Nakamoto, or they knew Satoshi Nakamoto, or Satoshi Nakamoto was speaking to them through messages. Not joking, that was the actual narrative that was going around. And you're always going to have a couple of people who believe it. Always. And then those numbers end up multiplying as people realize that the new coin that they got into is actually raising in price, and this only furthers their delusion that the thing that they bought into must be the real Bitcoin because it's rising in price the same exact time that the rest of the market is also moving up in 2017. Amazing. Part of the issue was, once again, is that major crypto exchanges were like, no, we're not going to list Bitcoin Cash because it only causes confusion in the market. We know what Bitcoin is. We don't need a second Bitcoin. However, can you guess what happened? Yes, of course. Tons of people, mainly in the States, I'm sorry, but that's basically where it was, began to say really weird things online. And the one that sticks out in my head the most, because I remember reading it over and over, and I was like, why would anyone write that out loud? They wrote, if I have a cow and I give you my cow and that cow produces milk, the cow and the milk belong to me. Basically, if I hold Bitcoin and I give Coinbase my Bitcoin and my Bitcoin produces milk, Bitcoin Cash, well, the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Cash are both mine. And Coinbase was like, we're still not going to add it. You don't need this. Like, this coin isn't a thing. And then other exchanges, smaller exchanges who didn't have a lot of trading volume, decided we need to add this coin because we're just not popular. We need people to start using our platform. So they said, if you had Bitcoin here, you will get Bitcoin Cash for free. Bitcoin Cash came out roaring, I think at like 100, 200, or 3, I don't remember the number, or $300 when it was first released. And people realized, hey, if I had 100 Bitcoin, that's tons of free money. And Coinbase was drowning in lawsuits from people who were like, no, you're going to give me my free money, because they heard the hype. They heard the lies behind the scenes from the people and the faces of these other projects who kept on saying, mine is the real Bitcoin. Mine is the real Bitcoin. So many other cryptocurrency exchanges began to add all of these other coins. Can you see the connection? So we are currently at the crossroads where Coinbase doesn't know if this is going to be a popular project. We don't know how much money is being, if Tron Boy has 1 million Ethereum behind the scenes, you know, You can do a lot with that money to make other people believe that this coin has some type of value. And for general reference, nearly every other Bitcoin hard fork scam coin is gone. You see Bitcoin Cash sometimes even floating in like the top 40, top 50, like struggling to try and stay within the space. That's because these coins are garbage and no one's actually using them. Like we know explicitly because, once again, of companies like Santiment and Glassnode, who told us years ago that Bitcoin Cash, I think nearly all of their transactions. So one of the main things that people look for are metrics when it comes to these actual coins. How many transactions are going behind the scenes? This is why you hear how much money Bitcoin is transacting and not how many transactions. Pay attention to all of this very closely because everything ends up making sense at some point. There's a reason why we talk about that Bitcoin, I think this year alone has already transacted more than, I think, $60 trillion with a T, as opposed to Bitcoin had 9 million transactions. It's because years ago, people were looking at how many transactions were going, comparing it to the banking system. Well, this bank does 45,000 transactions, Bitcoin does 50. That's amazing. Part of the problem is that we found out that Bitcoin Cash also had tons of transactions, and people were like, whoa, that's a lot of transactions for what people say is a blockchain that's not being used. And we found out, Santiment and Chainalysis found out, that the millions of transactions that were going through Bitcoin Cash were 1 cent transaction. So, you have $1, then you have 10 cents, and then you have 1 cent that were sending money between two addresses back and forth with a robot. Hundreds of thousands of times per day to make it seem like they actually had more transactions. And I know someone out there just went, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's terrible. Right. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, these coins are just cash grabs to get people to think that they actually have people who want it. No one wants ETH POW. You may want a free airdrop of a coin, but if you hold Ether, it's also going to be detrimental to your coin in the long term, the same exact way that Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision were. So do you get over the momentary greed of wanting this free coin, or do you want the world to continuously see that there is only one Ethereum and have Ethereum at some point next year or the year after hit $10,000 to $15,000? Right, yeah, exactly. We also had news as well that Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision, which is the dumbest name on the planet, you can look this up as well, that 99, so not 100, 1% below of their transactions were coming from a weather app. Go to your local search engine and type in Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision 99% weather, and you will see that we found out that there was a weather app that somehow integrated that coin and was simply having news popping up all the time and news, statistics and weather and how many clouds there were going to be. And those were 99% of the transactions from that blockchain. Right. So Coinbase is currently, once again, this is one of the most popular news stories, that Coinbase might list this coin. This is why. It's because they're afraid of people losing their minds once again, not actually understanding what Ethereum and therefore years ago what Bitcoin actually are, and that this new coin is nothing but a cash grab. But if enough people beat their chest enough and say, I'm going to sue you because I want my money and I want my cow and my milk, they're going to have to list this terrible coin, which will be detrimental to your investments in the future. See, now it all makes sense. I told you it was going to be a long one, but I had to explain everything so that you really all got it. Because it keeps happening over and over, all the time. I am shocketh that we have not heard about some kind of a Cardano chain split fork new coin. Because Cardano is also still very popular. So, at the moment, they're talking about, yeah, we'll look into it. That's if enough people completely lose their minds, which people tend to do all the time in the cryptocurrency space. It's this extreme level of greed. I want it now. I need it now, as opposed to thinking about the future. But we've gone over that before. People never think about the future. It's so rare that anyone actually thinks, hey, let me make sure that I'm secure 5 years down the line, as opposed to just, spending all their money and having fun in the moment. So, that's the Coinbase news. If they add it, it's because of what will be deemed public sentiment, but it's basically propaganda pushing. You have no idea how strong the narrative is behind the scenes for these people to want to be able to create a new coin that will instantly make them billionaires. You will not become a billionaire because of ETH POW. You will hear news stories, as always, about people who became rich from the coin. That's because behind the scenes, they held tons of Ethereum already, and ETH POW only made them richer. You will not benefit from this in any way except by maybe making low 5 figures. Right. That's the Coinbase news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news as well, just to finish things off, because like I said, I mean, the space is just, you might, and I'm sure you noticed this as well, and I've made fun of it thousands of times. If Bitcoin's price is up by 1%, the news that day is ripping and roaring, Bitcoin going to 95,000. Will Ethereum hit $67 million today? It's always like so hyper optimistic in some sort of way. If we are down in price, bearish signals. I don't know what's happening today. The market's not looking too good. Will Ethereum recover? I saw way too many people on Twitter, because I still go on Twitter. Why not? The last couple of days, who were calling for a $200 Ether. They believe that Ether has to fall to $350 before it moves back up. What planet are you living on? Like, why when markets around the world go down, which they're not also paying attention to, for them it's just crypto, do you think that markets have to go down to where you want them to, like Jordan Belfort saying that Bitcoin was going to go down to 0? So the news also of the day is someone moved their coins. It says Bitcoin bearish signal. 7 to 10-year-old coins display movement. The point of cryptocurrencies, everyone out there, is a payment method for you at any given time when you choose to do so to move your money. If you have 100K in crypto across a couple of coins and you decide that you want to move that money around through the blockchain or to your other computer or to a crypto exchange, guess what? You can do so because that's your money. Part of the fear tactics in the cryptocurrency space is, oh boy, someone's moving their money. It's time to be afraid. An old wallet that for some reason no one can pinpoint how old that it is. I'm not sure why the 7 to 10 year time frame kept on popping up. Apparently, maybe they found their coins. Maybe they remembered that they had them. 10 years is a long time. And they moved those coins somewhere along the blockchain to wherever they wanted to, because, say it with me, it's their money. However, a lot of news places, outlets were talking about this is bearish for the market because people moved their money. The idea being is that these old coins are for some reason never supposed to ever move. Imagine this scenario. Imagine you got into Bitcoin in 2011, 2012. Bitcoin's $1. You're like, doop, 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 doop. I'm going to put $500 into it. You have 500 Bitcoin. You forget about it. At some point, you're sitting on the couch, eating popcorn, listening to TMI, and you're like, oh, snaps. I have several $1 million that I forgot about. You go to your parents' house, you find your old computer. Whoa, it's still there. Can't believe it. Hey, you know what? I believe in Bitcoin. Let me sell off 1/10 of this. I could use the money to buy a house, go on a 3-year-long vacation because it's a lot of money. That's what I'm going to do. And then people panicking when you actually did it, as if the money that you haven't touched that's yours is supposed to just simply stay dormant for the next 9,000 years. I really wonder what people are going to do. So a lot of people just sit on their crypto. I myself am a purchaser. I have not sold anything ever. I continuously buy because I have numbers in my head when I believe these coins will hit a certain number. I'm going to cash out a fraction of what I have, buy some real estate, buy some art, live my best life, that whole shebang. Imagine you buying crypto 5-6 years ago and not wanting to touch it 10 years from now. And we start getting articles, there was a wallet that had half a Bitcoin in it that moved their Bitcoin. What's going to happen to the market? Do people who write these articles not know the point of crypto? I'm sure we can't see it, but I'm sure all the time there are people who are moving like $300 million from one bank account to another. Are we supposed to be scared that people move $300 million into Canada, therefore decreasing the amount of dollars in America? What's the... I don't know. I'm not sure if it's just like general negative sentiment news because the market's down and therefore people are like, oh no, they moved their coins, or what it is. But yeah, the news literally is someone moved their money. Weird, right? Like, how dare they? How dare any of you? In the future, when you're rich and you're sitting on tons of crypto, don't move your money. You might scare the market. What? This was also very popular news. I only have this one, but there was a lot of like movement of money news. Also, like whale watching news is also like coming back. Like someone moved 10,000 Ether. What? They moved their own money? Well, we need to find a way to get them in trouble. They can't do that to the market. If this is bearish to you, you probably shouldn't be in crypto. If the news of you moving your money is going to scare the market or scare you, not too good. Just what's going to happen when people start moving around, tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum on the regular in 10 years from old accounts. Anyway, that's the supposed to scare you news. I don't know what this is supposed to go under. Alrighty. Let's move on. As always, a gigantimous thank you to all of my... Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Oh, I actually sat up. Oh gosh, my spine. Oh, I have terrible posture. As always... Oh, that hurt. A very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, GBU Wally, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Bubble Mode, How's Life Austin, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and let's move on. Empire Queen, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Mobarazi, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Groulet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Storio, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, at Bibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll, Network Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, sorry for screaming, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mong's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, and Creole and Michelle, URL. Muchas gracias for your continued support. Thank you to everyone out there who is nice, who leaves likes, who leaves comments, who supported the new channel. Thank you very much for all the support there as well. I do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. You're all great. Love ya. At the moment, Bitcoin is at 19,841 US dollars. It is down by 5% in the last 7 days, 1.22%, excuse me, in the last 24 hours. Yes, I mean, we've all been here before. It's nothing too dramatical, if you will. We need to see where the rest of the week is going to actually end up going, what's going to end up happening, how prices are going to move in the stock market before we get any general idea of where our market is going to go. I won't lie, I'm a little shocked that we haven't seen Ethereum moving on its own. But I think when you combine all 19 things happening in the financial markets right now, it makes sense that Ethereum would not be able to buck the trend. It's not a multi-trillion-dollar asset, so maybe the liquidity is simply not there. No coin seems to be really. Chiliz is up by 10% in the last week. That seems to be about it. Oh gosh, what is this? eCashZec? Sure. Is up by 32% in the last 7 days. Usually straight lines up are indications of a fraud in some sort of way. But I don't know what this coin is, so I can't really talk about it. But most coins don't flatline and then slam directly up towards the sky. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you all enjoyed your time. Hope you had the time off on the weekend. Hope you all have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.